Sun Media's Peter the Whore Worthington. I've probably mentioned him on this show once before. Don't like him because he supports the genocide of Palestinians and several other reasons, like him being a wingnut. This video is not really going to be about that. This is about his article a couple of days ago where he wrote about snipers, military snipers, and the mystique that they have among other soldiers in their special privileged status. And no, I'm not about to complain that they have a superior class status within the military. I mean, it is the military after all. It's a hierarchical system. Anyway, moving on. He had an article showing famous snipers from history. It's pretty interesting, the list of the top ones that he wanted to put out there. This is the list. Lyudmila Pavelchenko, a Soviet sniper who in the Second World War knocked off 309 Germans. U.S. Marine Carlos Hathcock, who made a kill shot of 2,500 yards in 1967 in Vietnam. Canadian Corporal Rob Furlong fired a lethal bullet from 2,657 yards in Afghanistan in 2002. And the greatest sniper of all time, arguably, Simo Häyhä, who killed 505 Russians in 100 days. British Corporal Craig Harrison holds the record for the longest shot to kill an enemy, 2,707 yards. There was one more spot on his panel, and thankfully he did manage to find a non-white to put up there. It can be difficult for Sun Media people to do that. Here's the one spot he reserved. Top Chinese sniper in Korea was Chinese soldier Zhang Daofang, who it said killed 115 Americans. It's said. Actually, in the article, he goes on to disbelieve the claim. He says, well, Chinese propaganda being what it is. In other words, he doesn't like the stats. In fact, Zhang Daofang killed 214 UN troops in 32 days. And you want to know something just a little bit more impressive? He did a lot of those, if not maybe all of them, without a scope on his rifle. He didn't even have a scope on his sniper rifle. He said he didn't need one. He said he found a better way to do it with the regular iron sights that are built into the gun. A sniper that doesn't even use a scope. Huh. That's actually pretty goddamn impressive, actually. But Chinese propaganda being what it is, because that's what it is when you don't like the stats that come out. And besides, like, no country's ever lied about their military. Well, maybe the imperialist ones tend to, lie about the massacres they commit, and don't feel maybe a need to lie about their skills. But, Mr. Worthington, I have never seen any evidence of Rob Furlong's so-called record shot. The Canadian Corporal. I've never seen any evidence of that. Well, being as that I don't have any evidence of that, I'm just going to go ahead and just assume that it's Canadian propaganda. After all, we kind of know when our country lies, because it's kind of obvious. As Canadians, we're just not very good liars, except for Stephen Harper. He seems to be actually really, really good at it. But maybe not, because he's really transparent. So, you're ex-military, ex-Canadian military, so you're very likely to lie yourself in support of your own army. But interestingly, though, on that list, the only person who is said to have fought on a side opposite to us in a war. Even the Soviet woman, Lyudmila, she was on our side in World War II. Something grudgingly accepted by a lot of right-wing, even though they did most of the fighting. But I know Zhang Daofang was on the opposite side, opposite Canada's side, in the Korean War, and picked off a good number of UN troops. I just thought I'd mention that on your little bias thing there. Oh, one more thing. You left off one sniper that I really think should have been on it. Vasily Zaitsev, possibly the most famous sniper of all time, possibly the best sniper of all time. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say he is the most famous sniper of all time because he has a movie about him. I don't recall ever seeing a movie about any other snipers. I'm sure they're there. I'm sure there are other movies. I just haven't seen them because they just don't have the... They're not as famous as Enemy at the Gates. So maybe if you want to do one of these little military articles, just probably do a little bit more research and probably try to use a lot less bias.